you like to do? Do we want to do that first, or do we want to do this presentation?
You can do the presentation.
Do the presentation first?
Give a
Okay.
little background on the project,
Yep, okay. For those of you that have lived in a cave for the last 20 years, we've thought about working on building an annex, and so we are down to the final, hopefully the final. We'll see what happens. So, Dale, it's all yours.
Thank you. For those of you I haven't met, my name is Dale Davis. I'm the Director of Planning for Envoy. We have been hired as the owner's rep to the county. What that means is we are acting on the county's behalf. So we're here to be your eyes and ears through the process, help inform decisions, and keep us moving on the rails here moving forward. So behind me is my head's probably a little bit in the way, rendering of our proposed county government center. So I'm going to walk through a little bit of the purpose and need. This has been a project that's been in development since 2021, 2022. Walk through the design process a little. Darmon will come up and talk about our guaranteed maximum price proposal. We'll talk about the cost that goes with that and next steps. So your project team, as I mentioned, Darmon was your selected developer, and this is the design team that they brought with us. PPC Solutions, Etica, Ratio, and as I mentioned, I'm the founder of the owner's rep. So your work completed and the purpose and need. So back in 2022, DLZ completed a space study for this building and what it would take to have an annex, and that resulted in about 29,000 square foot of need. Needs cited: insufficient staff space, insufficient meeting space, structural implications with how much storage is occurring in this building, just the limited storage in this building. The county's actually having to rent 3 off-site storage facilities right now just to keep all of our records. Offices are located off-site. The soils is actually located in a federal building, so they were without a home for 45 days. The security here has to maintain both the judicial and non-judicial functions. All the break spaces are distributed through the building. The court it really does not have a good assembly space for jury or waiting or sidebar conversations with the attorneys, and there's no future space for growth in this building. So some photos to back up the purpose and need. You can see the file storage in the halls. There is a lack of secure storage space for those files. This is what our plat book room looks like. It's pretty full. It also doubles as a break room, so if there's somebody in there wanting to do property research, they're sharing the space with the staff while they're having lunch. Looking at the court floor, as you can see, the waiting space is out in the corridor. It can get congested. Going to the top floor, this is the planning office. Everybody's pretty packed in there. The operational issue with that too is they're on the top floor, so to get to the planning department, you have to go through the courts. So all of the court functions and the staff functions are intermingled. So we'll look at the design a little bit. This is the same rendering I had at the beginning. It's a 26,000 square foot office building. You could say it has 2 first floors because it's a walkout basement type situation. So at the back of the building, you walk into the ground floor. At the front of the building, you walk into the 2nd floor. I'll walk you through the floor plan. So this is that ground level. So if you're walking in from the south, and those of you that aren't familiar, this is the old school site that the county purchased. You walk into the central county square, and it's surrounded by service windows. That was intentional so that as departments ebb and flow throughout the year, one department will be heavy with waiting, another won't be. All that waiting can intermingle in the same space, so we're not wasting space with a bunch of different waiting areas. This also goes against a brand new chamber that has a cursor on here, has a glass wall on this side. What that's going to allow is visibility into the county square. So if you have a really big hearing, a lot of people showing up, this room could be pumped into the county square, you could have overflow seating as well. This also seats about 117 people with this configuration, so quite a bit more than we currently have space for. Going to the lower level, we have soils in the extension back here, Title 4D, a multi-purpose room for the extension, trustee, corner, and then shell space. This will allow us to bring all the offsite storage back under our roof. The intention is for a lot of that offsite storage to eventually get scanned and brought into the digital age, but there are some records we just cannot ever get rid of, so they will have to stay. This also gives the county significant space for expansion in the future. Some renderings. So this is that county square. When we looked at this building, and Mitch, feel free to chime in, they were your designers, but this was seen as a generational investment. We want this building to last for 50, 75 plus years. So it's made of steel and concrete. It's made to endure. It's made to last. But it's also not done over the top. It matches with this building well. Looking into the entry of the chamber space, you can see that glass wall to provide that openness. Your new chamber space. It has an acoustic ceiling in there to help dampen the sound. The staff lounge, so we would go to one centralized lounge. This is what a typical office suite and service counter would look like. This is in the auditor's office. So sliding glass partitions, so that county square can be locked up at night. And this is what that multi-purpose room would look like. So it does have an educational teaching kitchen with a full hood. The furniture is envisioned to be modular, so if something's going on in the chambers and you need to have another big meeting, this room can be arranged to accommodate that. So Mitch?
Yeah, so my name is Mitch Hannum, Executive Vice President for Garmon. Mic'd up a little bit here. So wanted to provide a little bit of context for the process. So you saw the design. That was the result of 6+ months of work with the county appointed kind of leader steering committee to help us get to that final design that we feel like really does suit the needs both now and in the future. So a little bit of the financial journey along the way, right? At each stage of the design process, we conducted a budgeting exercise to try to make sure that we were meeting both cost and design expectations. So originally, the project started just shy of $19 million. That was a much larger building. I think we had meeting that original program an extra 4,000 square feet of space or so. So found out that the target budget was $16 million, all in costs. So went back to the drawing board with the design team to try to continue to squeeze. Our last estimate was just a hair over $17.5 million. And as a result of that final design work, we conducted a public bidding process, compiled the final price, which I'll have on the next slide here, and are presenting for approval just right at a $15,800,000 of a total project cost. That does include all the design work, all the fees, all the construction costs. That's really, the only thing I think not in there would be any sort of financing costs or legal costs outside of the actual construction. So this gets a building with furniture in it, with the lights on, fully completed and ready for the county to move in.
And Mitch, I would add that that's got $500,000 in it of county allowance as well, so the county does still have ability if things come up during construction.
Yeah,
Talk about the contingencies.
sure.
So there's $260,000 for furniture.
Yeah, so we haven't completely defined what the final scope of furniture will be, right? So some of that will be a function of what we decide to get moved over, where the final budget was, what the expectations were. But yes, we carried what we call an allowance for furniture. So we haven't fully defined that, but feel very comfortable that with that budget, we can get the building operating the way it needs to.
And then there's $500,000. What does that mean?
Yeah, so the $500,000 of owner contingency is completely owner-controlled funds. So that is for if there are changes that are requested along the way, if there's, we decide that the overall scope of the furniture needs to grow, right, past that $270,000, then those funds would be earmarked towards that. But it's completely restricted use only for the county-directed expenditures.
And if we don't use all that 500,
You don't spend
we
it.
don't spend it.
Yeah, correct.
And then there's a third contingency.
Yeah, so the last one would be construction contingency. So that's for, scope gaps, things that come up along the way, more related to the construction process.
So if you come inside a room and they decide that pipe is in the wrong spot and it has to be moved, is that part of that? Or?
Yeah, it can be, depending on why the pipe's in the wrong spot, right? So if somebody put it in the wrong spot because they made a mistake, then that's a cost that they
So then this
bear.
price has 700, almost, what's the total, $800,000 worth of contingencies?
Yeah, so those are just undefined funds.
It has 760,000 roughly of county-directed contingency. The remaining contingency is at the direction of the builder at Garmong's
Okay.
ownership.
Okay.
But there's transparency to all
What
those
happens if you
expenditures.
don't spend all of your contingencies?
It goes back, it's unspent.
Goes
yeah.
back to us?
Mhm.
Okay, all right. Questions from anyone?
One thing I will add on that, the procurement process, the bidding process that we had over 70, I think it was 73 responses from individual subcontractors on this project, which was a really great turnout, right? We had at least 3 bids in every category. We had 9 steel contractors, we had 9 roofing contractors, we had 6 electricians. So there was a lot of interest in this project, and it certainly told us that the price as presented is what it costs to get this building done, right? I mean, the market has told us that, this is the true value. A lot of confidence there.
And so to remind everyone, with a build, operate, transfer, the price that you presented, it will not go any higher.
Yeah, I mean, the only situations where it goes higher is sun hits the moon type deals, right? Like, so.
Well, there's one line item in there that talks about tariffs.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
so.
I want to make sure we're transparent on.
Yep. Yeah, there are things that we don't control, right?
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
there are things that we have absolutely no
Because there
control
are some
over.
things that this building's going to have that is not built in the United States.
Yeah.
Correct?
The number of those things is going way down. So really the only concern that we have, and everything that the market has priced it as everything stands today. So we're only talking about new things, right? We're not talking about tariffs that are in place today.
Okay.
We're talking about a situation where we have tariffs 50, 100% sometime in the future, right?
Okay.
If that were to happen. So our goal certainly would be to get released on the project and start that procurement as soon as possible, so that all of those things can make their way here. Yeah.
And as far as local contractors?
Yeah, so there's over $1 million of local contractor spend. The biggest one there is Huber. AA Huber will be the mechanical contractor. So, and then certainly suppliers, throughout
As
the
it
construction
shows now.
process as well. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Anybody in the room or anyone have any questions? Yes, sir?
So that's the total price. That includes the owner's rep expenditures
Correct.
as well. It also includes things we've already paid for.
Well, I was getting ready to talk about that.
Okay,
So our county has been saving money for an annex. We started an annex fund that started years and years ago. If anybody remembers the old county home, was that 500,000?
Yeah.
I think's what we sold the old county home for, and that was a pact made by the commissioners and council way back then that that money would only be used to build a new annex. So that fund was $2.2 million. When we started this project, the council and commissioners decided that we would pay cash as we went. And that's what we have done. We have paid out of this 15,801, $823,419 so far. Which leaves $1,449,385 is left of the annex fund. So now the commissioners and council have to decide how is that money, do we apply that to the loans or how do we spend that money? So once you take that money out, that leaves a balance of about $13,500,000. So, and that does not include fees by Ice Miller or Baker Tilly, correct? Those are outside of this number. So that's the only two numbers that are outside of this, right? Okay, okay. I just want to make sure the public knows all the ins and outs of all the money.
This is the project cost, not the debt issuance cost.
Yep, so, okay. Does anybody have any questions to that?
Does that include moving this courthouse to that courthouse?
It does not.
Okay.
So that's,
You could use that $500,000 to do that.
yes,
In
yep,
the figure.
yep.
And my other question is, how much money are we gonna spend on this building after we move everybody out?
Well, that's a good question. So do we save some of that for that?
I don't think that'd be enough.
Okay. Yeah, I don't, that's it. We haven't even tackled that one yet. Yes, sir.
You want me to go through my numbers?
Yeah.
Relates to what you're talking about.
Yes,
now,
sir.
as far as, Jason Sim with Baker Tilly, serving as financial advisor for the county.
Yeah, buddy. Microphone. Thank you, Mitch. You're up.
Again,
talk
Jason
loud enough?
Simler with Baker Tilly, serving as the financial advisor for the county on this project. So based upon the information that you just received, we updated the numbers that we presented to you just a couple of weeks ago. So if you turn to page 2, if you look there at the top of the page, you can see the $15,802,000. That was the number you just saw on the slide. If you remember, when we met a couple of weeks ago, we had a number a little about $16.3 million. So we've updated that based upon now the guaranteed maximum price that is in front of you today. As was mentioned, there are some additional fees beyond the construction price and the soft cost for the project. If you kind of start from the bottom there, allowance for bond issuance, cost contingencies, that's all your professional fees to go through this financing process. We're looking at potentially, we're talking to local banks based upon the information that you provided us. They may have an upfront fee. If we go through an open market, there's usually a fee required for that, so we've allowed an allowance for that. So that's what that $146,000 is. And then if you remember, we also talked about interest during construction. Because of the financing that we're going through, doing a lease, and we need to pay for interest during construction, we talked about either borrowing that with funds on hand, or for the bond issue, or using existing funds of the county through your budget next year. I think the county council's still looking at that, but just, I think from preliminary discussions was just the uncertainty of Senate Bill 1 and other budget constraints. I think we're maybe leaning towards borrowing the interest during construction and not using cash on hand and reducing your cash balances.
One question I have.
Yes.
Since this is it 30 months to build? Where'd they go? Oh, there you're right in front. Or not 30 months, I'm sorry.
From
18?
today, it's like 18 days.
Okay, so why would we borrow all the money up front if we can do a construction loan and only pay interest on the money that we borrow as we go?
You could do that, but then you'd be kind of looking at,
Wouldn't that save us a butt ton of money on interest? Is that correct to say butt ton?
it might save a little bit instead of borrowing all the money at once, but we're paying like maybe 3% interest. So if you're still, true, if you're going to borrow like a construction loan, draw it down as needed, there could be a little bit of savings there. And we could look at that, but then that would be a totally separate financing where you'd have additional fees on top of that. So we can look at the alternative.
Okay, all right.
We
Just
can
a
do that.
random thought that I had
Yeah.
of how it worked.
Yeah.
Okay,
So if you look on, again, that page 2, if you look at those 4 different expenses, then you're looking at total project about $16,915,000. And then if you look at the bottom of the page, you mentioned the $2,220,000. That's the money that you discussed the county has saved up
Yep.
over time. So we are right now planning on using all of that towards this project. Now, as you said, $800,000 has already been spent of that $2.2 million. So of that $15.8 million that's in the front line, $800,000 of that has already been spent. You already paid for that, some of the soft costs. So they kind of, wash out. But with that $2.2 million, that leaves about $14,695,000 that we'll have to finance through the bond.
and that is an all-in cost, that's everything.
Correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. All right.
So I want to make clear, because there was discussions about maybe using some of that $2.2 million for maybe the cost that would have to be incurred for this building. If that's something that you decided to do, then we would need to take it out of this project and increase the bond issue.
Okay.
So that's something that we would need to know relatively soon, if that's the direction you wanted to go.
So how does these contingencies come into this? If we borrow all the money up front, how does that work?
If you have
we
any
get at the end of the
contingencies-
project,
yeah.
let's say we get $400,000 back.
Yep. If you go to the next page.
Ha-ha, the next page.
So with the bond issue, we're again, under this scenario, we're looking at borrowing $14,695,000. Again, the first 18 months will be paid from, if we go this route, through the bond proceeds. So when you get the money, in February or March, there'll be money set aside in a construction account, and there'll be money set aside in a sinking fund. So when you have a payment come due July 15, 2026, you'll take money out of the sinking fund and make that payment. You'll make the next 3 payments. After that, we're looking at levying a property tax to make those payments, as we talked about before. So let's say in your scenario, let's say project goes smoothly, there's no change orders, no surprises, and you have $700,000 of money left over in contingencies. You can take that $700,000 and apply it towards that payment and reduce the amount that we have to levy that first year.
Okay,
So that's where that additional funds would come,
Okay.
can be used.
got you.
So again, the first payment's about $1 million, then after that, about an annual payment's around $2 million a year. And if you remember, when we presented this to the council, the county council preferred to do a 10-year repayment. So that's what we're showing here.
Real quick, there would be one other option in your example, if you had like 700,000 left. If you've spent the 2.2 million and you don't reimburse yourself immediately for bond proceeds, but you find at the end of the project that you have this contingency left, because we're asking you to adopt a reimbursement resolution today that allows you to be reimbursed from taxes and bond proceeds, you could reimburse some of that 2.2 million and then use it like you could have used the 2.2 million. So that would be another
That's
option
true,
instead
yeah.
of just trying to pay down the debt early. So you have both.
So in that scenario, if, let's say that using the $700,000 again, if you wanted to reimburse yourself that $2.2 million, you can put that $700,000 back into that annex fund, and then potentially use it for projects for this building. And then the last page, again, because we are discussing looking at issuing these bonds payable from property taxes, based upon the $2 million, we would need to levy a tax rate a little over 8 cents, very similar to what we shown a couple of weeks ago. And then you can see there, based upon the different illustrative taxpayers, what the annual increase in property taxes might be. Now, if you remember, what you're doing today in the public hearing, you're approving the preliminary determinations that had estimated annual payments, estimated tax rate impacts. Those numbers are higher if you look at those based on what I'm showing here, is because those are based upon maximum terms. And now that we've gotten the guaranteed maximum price and looking at more current market rates, these numbers are less than what's in the preliminary determination that you're approving.
Questions, gentlemen? Anybody in the audience have questions? All right. Thank you, sir. All right, we're ready to open our public hearing. All right, now, let's open the second public hearing of the annex project. Does anybody have, would like to speak for or against the annex project? Okay, hearing none. I forget what we do next.
Make a motion to close.
All right, make a motion that we close the second public hearing. Mr. Helmer seconds that. All right, and so then what do we need to do next there, Legal Beagle?
Well, you have the resolution that you were given 2 weeks ago.
Yep, I have them here in front of me. There's two of them, correct? All right, so now we need to make a motion to approve or deny these, correct?
Correct.
All right, the first one that we will talk about is declaration. You have copies of them, gentlemen. I think they were in our packets. Oh. Find them, Tom. Got them? All right, the declaration of official intent to reimburse expenditures. That is the one that Lisa talked about, to where we can reimburse ourselves. Do you want to talk about it at all or not? No, or you already have?
The only statement is this does provide you the option at any time at the end of the process to reimburse monies from bond proceeds. It does not require you to do that. So it's just keeping all your options open on that front.
I got a question.
What you got, Andy?
You got your 50 signatures yet?
Yes.
You don't know the answer?
Well, we've submitted them to be checked. Yep. So Christine, the auditor's office is verifying those. Anything else? Tom? All right. Well, with that said, I'll make a motion to approve declaration of official intent to reimburse expenditures. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
All right. Andy?
Now, is this voting for the annex or just voting?
This is voting for this one right now,
Okay.
is what this is voting for.
All right, I'll vote.
Because we're gonna do three motions. My understanding is we've got this resolution, we have the second resolution, and isn't the third motion to proceed with building of the annex?
I mean, I think those do, but yes, I mean, that would mean,
So these cover that third one?
I mean, I think if you,
Is that-
The second resolution that you're not talking about yet is the preliminary determination resolution. It basically says you've held your two public hearings that are required, and you are making an initial preliminary determination to move forward with the annex. There are a lot of approvals to go after this. We will, if you adopt that resolution, we will publish notice of the adoption of preliminary determination, so that the public knows that, and then we would go into the actual lease agreement in January and start public approvals and public hearings on the lease agreement and the financing itself.
Okay.
So this does preliminarily approve moving forward with the.
The first one?
The second.
The second one. Okay. So I made the motion on the declaration to official intent. Tom seconded it.
I'll vote for that.
Yes?
Yeah.
Andy says yes.
You ain't do the reimbursement?
Yeah, on the reimbursement. Yes, sir. All right, and that only takes one signature. That's all that's on here. Is that okay, or do you want all three?
that's fine.
All right. The second resolution is for the Board of Commissioners This says for a building corporation, correct? Lisa?
We will be creating a building corporation.
And that's what this resolution is for.
No, this resolution tells you that a building corp will be created in order to do the lease financing. But it is to be signed by the Board of Commissioners approving the preliminary determination to move forward.
Okay. So this says that Putnam County Building Putnam County Building Corporation has been or will be organized pursuant of the Indiana Nonprofit Corporation Act of 91 for the purpose of acquiring a site or sites, constructing, renovating, expanding, or equipping governmental buildings, including the construction of a new county annex building, together with all, yeah, I can't say that word.
Appurtenances.
Yeah, appurtenances. If I can't spell it, I'm not saying it. Including the related improvements and equipment project for use by Putnam County, okay. And so this is the next step. So termination was held first, okay. Now the last one, Christina, that first resolution we just approved was 2025 12-15. I did them backwards, -2, okay, is what that one is. So, oops. So with that said, I am going to make a motion that we approve this resolution 2025-12-15-1 to create or organize a building corporation for the construction of a new county annex building. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
No.
Okay, so Rick made the motion, Rick, yes, Tom seconded yes, and Andy votes no. Commissioner Beck. All right. What else do we need to do?
Yeah,
Okay,
the building.
so the commissioners, you need to sign that one. The commissioners have got together, we have 3-member board of the building corp. Each one of us just picked a member. My pick was Phil Gick of Greencastle. Andy's, Commissioner Beck's pick is Ron Burt. I think he has a Greencastle address too. I'm not sure. And then Commissioner Helmer's pick is Tony Hacker. Is that Cloverdale or Bell Union? Cloverdale. So what do you need from us for this? You need addresses
All of you
and.
just approve, yes, we will need their addresses, I will need
Just a
their
motion.
names and their addresses.
Motion.
I'll make a motion.
So Commissioner Helmer makes a motion that we approve Phil Gick, Ron Burt, Tony Hacker to the building corporation. I will second that.
Yes.
Commissioner Beck votes yes. All right. Anything else? Phew. Tomorrow night at the council meeting, we will do what? Same presentation? And we will need the same approvals or what? Or is there any approvals tomorrow night at the council meeting? How does that work? We go in front of the council.
only approval that we will need from the council is their resolution of need. It can be considered tomorrow evening, or it could be considered at their January meeting, so I didn't know where we were in certifying all the signatures.
Okay,
Their
so-
resolution will require that we know how many signatures have been certified, so that
Okay,
they have
so
that.
we cannot do that step until those signatures are certified.
Correct.
They've been turned in this morning, so they'll be certified today, so we'll have it ready for tomorrow night's meeting.
Is that still close enough to get on their agenda?
It's on the agenda.
It's what we put it on.
So that would be the only resolution that would be approved.
Okay. All right. Just want to make sure we're all following the process because it's a insane, complex process. All right. We all done with that? Thank you. Thank you, Mitch. Thank you, Dale. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Jason. And we'll start again tomorrow evening. All right. So that takes care of A and B. Next, we have Tara Stevenson, HR. What you got, HR?
Currently, we have a partnership with the IMCA. We approved it last year, paid $1,800 a year for our
Do you know where we took that money out of last year?
I don't know.
Insurance and trust, I believe.
Health insurance.
Came out of the insurance?
Yeah.
Okay. Gentlemen, what's your thoughts on that?
How many people used it? Exactly.
I had 46 people request to sign up. I don't know who currently, some people hop on and off kind of thing depending on what's going on in their lives, so, but 46 people requested to
Okay.
join the one.
Out of how many?
There's about 240 employees.
Yep. What's your thoughts?
I make a motion to approve it. I think it's, and 46 people, it helps them, keeps them out of the hospital.
It is a nice benefit and their family gets the
It is a nice
benefit. It's not
benefit.
just the employee, it is
And
the whole.
I will say I am one of those that use it, and I do see those county employees out there.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I go in the evenings, but
Yeah,
I
we
do
have
see
a
them
few
out
of them
there.
that utilize it quite often, and their
Yep.
families get to enjoy also that
So,
ability, so.
you made the motion?
I made the motion.
Okay, I will second that.
And then also, we have the HSA incentive that we provide all of our employees who are currently on our medical insurance and are enrolled in HSA to get an additional $100 if they go get a physical with our clinic. Currently, we had about 31 people take advantage of that this year. It's $100 per person. It's just if you guys want to continue it for next year.
Can they still get it in this year? Is it by the 31st of December?
As long as they get the physical completed by the 31st, and
Okay.
it's annual, so.
Yep.
You get it once a year, but yeah, you have until the 31st.
Okay.
I just need to know January 1st if I'm sending out an email telling people they can get it again for 2026.
Yep. Questions, thoughts?
I just read, send it,
Okay.
make a motion for approval.
Okay.
Second.
Commissioner Helmer makes the motion. Commissioner Beck seconds. I'll make that unanimous.
That's all I have.
That's all you got?
Yep.
All right. Hi, Planning Department.
Hey there.
How are you today? What do you got for us?
I have a rezoning, so I have a ordinance for all of you. This was from the approval for the December 8th Plan Commission meeting. Sean Crowder rezoning from A1 rural preservation to A2 agricultural. For a 10-acre tract, he's wanting to rezone the parcel so that his daughter can build on the north side of the property. It approved at that meeting, so I'm just coming to you guys for final approval.
Was there any neighbors, anyone there for or against?
I don't believe anyone.
I watched it.
Did you watch it? There was not. Okay. Is Mr. Crowder here? No? Okay. Greg, you're on the Plan Commission too.
Right.
Thoughts?
It was approved unanimously, I can see it works. There's no opposition to it.
Okay. All right. What's the address here?
That address is 2742 East County Road, 100 North, so that is within Greencastle Township.
The old 2 Mile Fringe?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Anybody have any other questions about it? I'll entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make the motion to approve
Okay?
Mr. Crowder's.
All right. Commissioner Helmer makes the motion to approve. Commissioner Beck seconds. I'll make it unanimous. Ordinance number?
2025-12-15-3.
Okay. Is there one up here to sign, or is this the one I have in my hand? Or the one you handed out, do you have the original? Okay. Thank you very kindly. Make sure we sign the correct one. You have anything else for us, young lady?
That's all I have for today.
Okay. All right. Oh. All right, moving on, Brian Hopkins. Hey, Brian Hopkins. How are you, sir?
Good, good.
Welcome.
Yeah, thank you. I just wanted to introduce myself. My name is Brian Hopkins.
few things. Anybody remember Will Nebo? He helped me out when I first got out of the military. I'm a veteran. I was with the 82nd Airborne. So he helped me out a lot when I came out. So it's my payback. So I'm gonna try to pay it forward and help other veterans. So nice to meet everybody and thank you.
Before you go,
Yes, sir.
so we had a commissioner conference a couple weeks ago,
Yes.
and the veterans people were walking around handing this out to all the commissioners, making sure that our VSOs were compliant.
Yes.
So I will hand this to you.
Okay.
I will pass that off because that's what commissioners do most of the time.
Okay, perfect. I will
But,
read into
but
this.
if you could check that out and just they said both of the gentlemen that was up there said they knew you.
Okay.
I don't remember names.
Well, we didn't hold that against
Yeah,
Yeah.
But,
You act like you didn't know me.
right. And they said they were confident that we weren't compliant, but I just wanted to keep that and hand that to you and,
I believe I've already printed that off. I got an email on it today.
all right, cool beans. Look at us go.
Try.
So,
Thank you, everyone.
thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Okay, I have on here Putnam Parks 2025 report. Who are you?
Thank you very much for the time, Dr. Hill.
Yes, sir. Please.
Commissioners, thank you so much for the time. My name is Will Bartlett. I am the Executive Director for Putnam Parks and Pathways, as well as the County Parks Board. The County Parks Board was established by ordinance in 2021, but I've only participated for the last year. What I'm here for today is to present our 2025 report, what we've accomplished, what we've done, the good things that we've gone through, and kind of explain who we are. With the climate of the county and the state and the nation, we're moving forward as a collaborative to eliminate the burden and to increase our effectiveness. Currently, our collaborative consists of the Putnam County Beekeepers Association, Camp Friend Park, the County Visitors Bureau, Putnam Parks and Pathways, County Parks Board, and Friends of the Park. So whenever I say we is a lot of people moving a lot of different directions. Some of the things that we've accomplished this year, under our education wing, we've done monthly nature hikes. John Garner runs those. He's also run a Windows to the World grant program, and we issued out $825 to teachers in the county so that they can increase the beautification outside of the windows in their classrooms. We did a Nature Play Days event, which over 7 days at no cost, actually. But Nature Play Days is a state program that we participate in, designed specifically to get kids playing outside. We serviced during those 7 days, and I think we were at 4 or 5 different locations. We serviced over 100 county citizens with that event. We've been working very heavily with Camp Friend Park, and to date we've accomplished building them a new website. We've increased the amount of primitive campsites that are available there. We've implemented a new park 5-year plan for Camp Friend. We've replaced the old perimeter fence and gate to make it more welcoming to visitors, and it is open to the public now. We created a new multi-rec area, and we plan to have 6 different activities that people can participate in out there. Bocce ball, volleyball, those types of things. We'll have solar-powered equipment rental lockers there, so people can go and rent the equipment and return it whenever they're done. As of last month, we have fully funded the building of a new shower house, which will be a year-round shower house facility with restrooms and showers. The project total was just over $132,000. We haven't broke ground yet, but we have the preliminary work being processed right now as far as architecture and approval process. The park also purchased the necessary maintenance equipment to keep the park running and kept up. Additional items that we've taken care of and helped with, we helped facilitate the urban fossil tour in partnership with the Putnam County Museum. We participated in the Intro to Rock Polishing event at the museum as well. We completed a beautification and pollinator project next to the visitor center. purchased observation hives and built an educational plan for beekeeping. And it's actually starting to attract more state notice from the state beekeepers. We successfully maintained all of the trails at a cost of $23,530, which was lower than last year and closer in keeping with the county contributions that we get. We helped move the Penn Railroad Freight Depot across Veterans Memorial Highway to preserve history and get set up for some future services there. We worked with the Highway Department and the Putnam County EMA to build a plan for trail safety that'll be implemented in 2026. And then we had 4 different events this year, and these are the ones that I'm really excited about. The 4 events that we hosted this year were Pedal Putnam, Vulture Vista, a slingshot tournament we call AIM, and then another bike race called Dust Bowl. So if you'll bear with me on some of the statistics here, it's kind of impressive when you look at it. For Pedal Putnam, we had 325 registered riders. It was an 85.7% increase over last year, so more people are starting to come to Putnam County for these events. 15% of those participants said that they stayed 1 to 2 nights in Putnam County, which increased our innkeepers' revenue. And of the surveys that were returned to us, an average of $126 was spent locally per participant, giving us a $6,210 total to boost our local economy. Almost 70% of the participants were over 40 years old, and 24% were below that. 25.7% were women, and 74.3% were men. There were 9 states represented at that event, so they're all coming here and they're buying our gas and eating our food and contributing to our local government. This event generated $6,000 for the Friends of the Park Endowment Fund, which should be set up to help county parks in the future. There were 20 different corporate and nonprofit sponsors that helped get that done. Vulture Vista had a 119% increase. That's an ultra marathon for people who are crazy and just keep running forever. They offered 2 different events, or 3 different events this year. They had a 6-hour and a 12-hour run on a 4.5-mile loop. They also did a 4.5-mile challenge on a new course.
What part of the county was that held? Do you know?
They did that one at DePaul Nature Park.
Okay, so it was down at the nature
Yeah,
park. Okay.
people were out there running for 12 hours.
Yeah, gotcha.
We also had the National Slingshot Tournament here this year. That was held at J.C. Park. We had a 19.5% increase, with 11 states were represented. The youngest participant in this year's event was 10 years old, and the oldest participant was 70. As well as all potential participants for Team USA were present there. My son Graydon is going to be the first and youngest U.S. international slingshot competitor. He's going to Spain in October to compete there. So we're pretty excited about that. Lastly was the Dust Bowl. Registered participants for the Dust Bowl this year were 1,214. That event sold out in 2 days, and they're getting ready to open up registration again in January for next year. And I think they're going to bump it up a little bit more. At this event, 33 states were represented here and 3 different countries. The youngest finisher was 12 years old, with the oldest finisher being 78. To get the event to go off like it did, it took 130 volunteers. Dust Bowl is big on giving back to the community. So a lot of what they did was they donated 16 bicycles to students at the Eminence Community School. They raised $4,200 for Eminence School through camping and shower fees. $1,200 was raised for Eminence Junior High School. They donated $2,090 to the Eminence PTO and raised $610 for the Eminence Fire Department. There was more than 1,000 items were donated to the Eminence Christian Church food pantry as well. And 46% of those 1,200 plus participants were from outside of Indiana. The average spent during the participants' trip to our county was $361, and more than half of them spent at least one night away from home. A lot of what we've done and a lot of what we've accomplished is my mentor never said I, and it drove me nuts for a year. But after I put this together, I realized that it's difficult to say I, because it really is we. There are so many different people that it takes to get all these wheels moving forward. And when I come to these meetings, I want to make sure that I'm bringing some good news, that Putnam County's moving forward and doing good things, not just for its citizens, but for others. And going forward in 2026, it's been a pleasure to serve, and I'll continue to be serving the county this way. We have 3 goals in 2026 for county parks. One is to implement the safety plan for trails. We're going to build a new 5-year plan because we're coming up on the end of our outdoor recreation plan. And we're also going to be seeking funding for the future, for stability and sustainability of county parks going forward. Are there any questions on what we've accomplished for the year? No?
Good
Thank
job,
you.
man.
Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate it.
It's amazing to think everything that goes on in Putnam County that you have no clue. I mean, really. Yeah.
He's got a clue, we don't.
Yeah, well, he's got a clue, yeah. Yeah. But most of the people in this county don't have a. All right, Mr. Maddox,
Yeah,
how was your weekend?
it was great. We had a lot of fun out playing in the snow. All the crew and I decided that we'll be really happy when winter gets here, so it'll warm up and the weather's straight.
Correct, yeah. Yeah.
But, yeah, been all weekend out. I think we got the roads in about as good a shape as we can get under the conditions that we've been given. Obviously, the low temperatures of material, we've used an obscene amount of material, and it will work at some point, but when it's 0 and below it, doesn't do a really good job. But it's there for when it does warm up. Yeah, I got everybody out today, again, just making sure anything they may have missed on their routes, dead ends, gravel roads, you know, just get everything squared away, and that way everybody can get in and out the way they should. Moving on to Bridge 133 on County Home Road. They're coming along pretty nicely on it. Weather, permitting. The floor is in. It's all welded down. It actually looks like a bridge now. The next thing would be the guardrail and the concrete approaches. So they'll do that with permitting. Hopefully, if it warms up next week or the week after, they can get that taken care of. And, hopefully, at some point in the near future, that bridge will be open. Got a hold of K&W for the fuel tank system, and that is, in fact, a turnkey system. I spoke with the representative. Just wanted to make double sure, for that price that it was, if we were getting a turnkey system, and we are in fact getting that. And I asked him about the longevity of the bid, and he said he would be getting back with me on that, so I have yet to hear from him.
Does that go to the council tomorrow night? Or does that go in January?
January.
Goes in January, okay. I couldn't remember that.
I do have a contract for you to sign, wrought iron bridge works, and that'll be for the work to be done on Bridge 152, the truss bridge that was hit and damaged. Feel free to read through that.
When is this work expected to be done? Next spring?
It's gonna start this winter. Yeah, he was hoping to start, January 1, so he said they were prepared to work through the winter on it, but, if the weather gets very inclement, it probably won't happen.
And this is items we've already approved.
Yes.
What else you got?
Will brought up, we had talked, about joining forces, so to speak, with the people pathway. He had mentioned the fact that, there was spots in the pathway that was, the brush was getting out of hand. And he was inquiring, to us about possibly using one of our Motrim trimmers whenever the time allows this winter, to take care of some of that, issue for them.
Okay,
I told him I didn't think there would be a problem, but I wanted to pass that by you.
thoughts?
I don't have a problem
I'm
with
okay with it.
Yeah, so.
Tom, Andy?
it.
Yep,
I think it's a
okay.
good idea.
Let me get our work done.
Yep. Yeah, we've made pretty good headway with them, so I think, we can probably take a little time out of our schedule this winter. And take care of that.
Well, the good news is, on that project, they should be able to knock it out fairly quick, because you don't have to deal with traffic, and you don't
Yeah.
have to deal with everything, you
Yeah,
can
it'd
just,
be a pretty fast, fast job, I think.
you don't have all them other factors in your,
Exactly. Yep. Believe that's all we have,
okay?
right now, unless you got a question for us.
Yep, well, I got one here. So we did a bid, we got some cleaning up to do on bids. We did a bid for 2 new dump trucks.
Yep.
That bid was $665,828. There's been 2 changes. If you tell us the 2 changes.
The main expensive change was on all 3 trucks, was the hydraulic, tank in the back cover. That was almost a $3,000 charge per truck, to go from, mild steel to stainless steel for that.
Okay,
Just to avoid the corrosion aspects, keep it out of the wiring and stuff. And the remainder of that bid was from 6/17. So in the interim, between then and now, there's been some up costs, on different items.
okay,
That still puts us in under
under the other bids.
the other bids.
Okay, that was my biggest concern, that we were still under,
Right.
because that increase is $14,203, which we approved back in June or whenever it was, I can't remember, June, July,
Yep.
that the yearly payment would be $127,757.
Yep.
The new payment's gonna be $130,483, and so that's an addition of $2,724 a year. So we have budgeted, we're good on budgets for that.
I had budgeted actually $128,000, so I will have to probably do an additional for $2,000 at the end.
Okay, all right, so we just need to make sure we do the proper,
I will get the proper.
but we need to approve the adjustment of that, correct? So, I'll make a motion that we approve the addition 14,203, which raises the payment $2,724 on the dump trucks for the highway department. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Unanimous.
Okay, anything else, Clint?
We do have those 3 trucks in our possession currently. We're just waiting for, Clark Equipment at Crawfordsville to make room for us
Okay,
and get those upfitted with the beds and hydraulic systems, that type of thing, so.
have they give us any indication?
Not right now. I've been to get a hold of Jeremy up there at Clark and see, what their schedule is and go with that basically.
Okay. All right, any other questions for Clint?
Appreciate the job you guys did this week.
Thank you. Good to hear.
All right, we have meeting minutes from December 1st to approve.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Commissioner Helmer makes the motion. Mr. Beck seconds, I'll make that unanimous. All right, next we have appointments for 2026. Do we have our list, gentlemen?
Are we doing the personal first?
You want to do personnel first, Andy? Yes, sir. All right,
And we need to add Brent's name to the bottom of that.
all right. All right, currently, the planning commission director is Lisa Ziner, courthouse head custodians Clifford Ross, courthouse custodian Sean Grimes, part-time custodian Jenny Kersey, veterans officers Brian Hopkins. Boy, that would be a kick in the teeth. Hired him 2 weeks ago and then don't reappoint him in January. The EMA director, Sarah Owens. 911 directors, David Clodfelter. County attorney, Dan Hensley. EMS directors, Kelly Russ. Weights and measures inspector, Brandon White. And highway director, Clint Maddox. Do I have a motion to approve all of those as a yes?
Yep, second then.
All right, Commissioner Helmer makes the motion. Commissioner Beck seconds, and I will make that unanimous. Okay. Moving on to our next, we have expiring board members. We are going to start at the top. Well, first of all, did we get an updated one? Because I still have the old one.
Here's the new one.
You should have an updated one.
In here?
Yeah, it's in the packet.
Oh. Aha, looky there. Good job. All right. Starting out with our ABC board, alcohol board, we have Joe Ferguson. It's a one-year term.
Second. We do these individually?
Yeah, we're gonna do them all individually, yes, sir.
Elmer did it, and then Beck.
Yeah, Elmer and Beck. Kathy Tipton for the airport.
Second.
Rick, and on the next one, I have
Beck.
an email from the airport that says that Wise, the expiration for that term is January of 27.
Okay, that's what I thought. I thought it was 27.
And I can check with,
I know it's in January, it's an odd,
I mean, you can go ahead and do it, but I'll just.
I make a motion that on the airport, since we had other applications, that we table that until we find out about it.
okay, so let's step back. So Tipton, Kathy?
Tipton's,
Well,
that, we agree.
I have
with.
no
That's,
problem with it.
which one? Did you make the motion, Andy?
Yes.
So Andy made the motion, Tom seconded it, I'll make that unanimous.
And according to the airport records, that's accurate. The expiration for her is, it's just, there's a difference of opinion on the next
Okay.
one.
All right, so Commissioner Helmer makes a motion, we table Wise for now.
That's fine.
I'll second that.
Unanimous.
Okay, table them. All right, next one we have is the Dr. John Scamahorn on the Board of Health. It's a 3-year term.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Commissioner Helmer makes that motion. And Beck seconds, I'll make that unanimous. Next one we have is Ruth Ralph. It's a, okay.
They're both 4-year terms.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a 4-year term, not a 3-year. Christina, that, if you could adjust that one. Ruth Ralph. I will make the motion to approve her,
Second.
Unanimous.
but it is a 4-year term. It
4
says
year?
3.
Okay,
If you could adjust that, please.
we can do that.
Next is the cemetery board. That says 3 years also. For some reason, I think that's a 4, but
Cemetery, I'll check.
for Jordan Vaughn, I'll make the motion to approve that.
Second.
Unanimous.
All right, next, moving into Visitors Bureau. There's, we have 2. They're 2-year terms. The first one is Emily Knuth. We have a motion on that.
Make a motion to approve.
Helmer, Commissioner Helmer makes the motion. I will second that.
I vote for it.
Second one we have is Wes Kendall. It's a 2-year term. I'll make a motion that we approve that.
I'll second that.
Unanimous.
Next, we have Mike Hildebrand. Floyd,
I talked to Mike and he said he would do it.
he's
again.
good. That's a 4-year term.
Yeah, so I'll make the motion to.
All right, Andy makes the motion and Tom seconds that. Unanimous. The next one, we have one up on the hospital board. David Bray, it's a 4-year term. Do we have a motion to approve that? All right, what are we doing there?
I got a replacement, Debbie Silvery
Okay,
from Roachdale.
Commissioner Beck makes the motion for Debbie Sillery.
I'll second that.
Do we have a second? All right, Commissioner Homer seconds that, and I'll make that unanimous. Debbie? Will you get the auditor's office the information?
Yeah, she
And-
is the clerk treasurer at Rosedale, so,
And then they'll have to get that to the hospital board, she'll have to go through some onboarding stuff. The next one we have is Rochdale Fire Protection, Terry Tippin. That says replacement term. I don't know what that
well,
means.
didn't he finish out,
Yeah.
he finished out one that should have
Sure.
expired. I mean, he finished
Mike McCoy's in there or something.
whoever's term it was,
But is it a 4-year term, or?
should be,
Okay,
I approve.
all right, I'll make the motion that we appoint Terry Tippin to Rochdale Fire Protection.
Unanimous.
Next, we have Kayla Flegel on the library board, 4 years. I'll make that motion to approve.
Second.
Unanimous.
And then last, we have Samantha Cooper on the Thrive Board, which is in Terre Haute. It's a 2-year, our economic development. I will make that motion to approve.
I'll second.
Unanimous.
Okay. All right, there's our first attempt, for some reason, every year on board appointments. We always takes us a few meetings to get that done. So we will come back next meeting with Stephen Wise. We have, is it 3?
I received an email from Chet Quadfelder,
Yep.
Lee Fordyce, Todd, Bardolph, and Dan.
Then we have 4. All right. I will reach out to Mr. Wise and find out if he's willing to serve again, just to make sure. I will take care of that. All right. What are we moving on to next? All right, we've got those down. Old business. Tom, do you have any old business?
Whole business.
No? Andy, you got any old business?
I can't think of any, well, I mean, no, that's fine.
Yes, no? Andy's, the medicated, all the cold medicine hadn't kicked in yet, huh? Yeah, Mr. Inslee,
Yes.
what do you have for unfinished business?
I don't, well, I mean, nothing that, I mean, we haven't talked about, like, just nothing here.
Okay. We are still waiting. We've done our mediation on the Razor Aggregates rock quarry, still waiting on the judge and all that, so that's for that. Health Department. You met with Mr. Dobson,
Yes, sir.
and how did that go?
He has some of his subcontractors with him, so we just kind of did a walk through the building like we'd already done with him a few months back. But, I mean, it seems to go fine.
Okay. He called me on Thursday or Friday, I can't remember what day. He hopes to have everything put together for the January meeting, is what his hopes are of your list, and then we can sit down and go through that list and, okay?
I think he was happy because we'd already cut some stuff from the original request that we made of him, so.
Did you?
Yeah, but we added to, so it should balance out.
Okay, all right. The only other update I have is for those of you that follow the local news, EMS, we are down ambulances badly. An SUV took out one of them on I-70, as everyone's seen. We got the report back, the box, that was a new ambulance in '22. The box is a brand new box, it is good. So that's the positive, because that's a huge log jam of boxes. But the chassis is totaled. So that ambulance has been towed to, fire services, blah, blah, I can't think of I don't think that's the right name. Doesn't matter. Up in St. John's, Indiana, it is towed up there. They're taking the box off and waiting on a cab and chassis, to come. They estimated the insurance about $260-some thousand. So we'll figure out how all the replacement costs and all that balances out. When that ambulance was wrecked, we have 2 reserves. We pulled the first reserve out. It lasted 4 hours and broke down. It's currently sitting at a repair shop trying to figure out what is wrong with it. So we pulled the second reserve out, and we had it about 2.5 miles before the liquid spring exploded on the back end of the ambulance. So, it got towed, and it is at Hendershots, and they hope to have it fixed today or tomorrow. In the meantime, we called around the awesome town of Crawfordsville, let us borrow one of their ambulances. So if you've seen a Crawfordsville Fire Department ambulance running around Greencastle all weekend, and we went up and got that on Friday, and that's what we've been using. Most of the day Friday, we ran out of a Tahoe as the third ambulance. So it's one of them perfect storms of everything just falling into. So, but it is what it is. The good news is we went through it. We persevered. That we had a neighbor help us out, and that's one thing about EMS is all the neighbors are good to each other, and we help each other out when we can. So.
Have we heard anything new from the?
Mr. Inslee, how would you like to, we ordered an ambulance 2 years ago that was supposed to be delivered 8 months ago and has not been delivered, and
The last I talked to Kelly, she was going to see them at a conference or something. And
she did, she made very, lots of comments towards them, and they basically didn't say a whole lot. So,
I'll talk to her.
we need legal proceedings,
Okay.
is what we need, because it's past time, we have a replacement plan. We need to get another ambulance on order. So we
I'll
are
talk
we are
with her.
now farther
I'll
behind.
talk with her today.
And then with this crash and everything else, we need to get going. So we need to get bids out for another ambulance. I also know that part of the replacement plan for 26 is there will be another Tahoe come up for replacement also, so that'll be coming to us next year. Anybody in the audience have anything to add to this?
I got one thing I want to
Okay,
say.
what you got?
I just want to make a public apology to North Putnam Middle School for being asked to leave the courthouse instead of just being asked to tone their voice down a little bit last week.
Okay.
Because we did approve that date for them to come and sing, and they were singing, and I talked to Jim a little bit about it, and I just think the person that come down and addressed them got carried away, so.
They told them they were too loud for the courts. And so they packed up and left. I appreciate you saying that, Andy. Appreciate you saying that. That was,
should have never happened.
it should have never happened. You're absolutely right, so. Kristen?
Yes. I apologize, I probably should have been on the agenda, but Parks gave your end report, I've got a year-end report for you as well. We don't really need to go over everything, but I do want to draw your attention to the very first topic, and that's the Ready One grant. This is the end of the Ready One grant. This is where we joined the 180 Alliance, and I just wanted to bring you up to date on the progress of all of them. So needs to be completed by year end. The projects were Cloverdale, gave them a lot of money to extend to tow it. Roachdale, we gave them $100,000 to help with their new water tower. Heritage Lake, we gave them.
Russellville.
Yeah.
Wasn't it Russellville?
We're
Instead of Rochdale?
Well, Roachdale, we gave them $100,000 for their.
Oh, okay.
For their water tower. Heritage Lake, we gave them not quite $1 million, and we partnered with you on the ARPA with all that, with extending their water utility, and doubling it in size. Greencastle, they had a lighting project, $400,000, and then we were given an extra $50,000. So they are just finishing that up. So if you'll see Indiana Street closed, that's why they're putting poles in right now. Russellville Community Center, we gave them a
it's the
new roof.
roof. Oh,
For the
okay.
new roof.
It was the
Yes,
roof.
and then the countywide housing study, we are just wrapping that up. And so we have definitely identified that we need housing, and we can certainly handle housing in the entire county to grow our communities. Greencastle is working on, of course, a few projects around town. Cloverdale is really looking to do the Stardust Hills thing right now, so we're working on that. And then there's some senior housing potential going on down in Cloverdale. In Greencastle, we've got the site behind the Y, we've got Seminary Square, we've got the 94 units of duplex, triplex going on South Street. And so we've got some housing going on there as well. So the Ready One grant is wrapping. The Ready Two grant, again, we went to Indianapolis as opposed to Terre Haute. We went east, and so we joined the CERTA, Central Indiana Regional Development Authority. We were the 28th community, I think, and that includes all the donut counties and all the cities and all the towns around there. So competing heavily We've been, told that we're getting the $2 million, and that's going towards the Seminary Square project, partnering with DePaul, for that housing development with the Green and Gold grant with Lilly money. We were just notified last week, Mayor Dunbar was notified last week that, for a variety of reasons, there was a little bit extra funding available, and so, with some direction from the IEDC, Indiana Economic Development Corporation, they said, do we give all 28 communities, divide up the funds, what do we do? So instead, the IEDC said, give them to the projects that were the most competitive, and we were one of the top 3 most competitive projects, so we got another $785,000.
Nice.
So that allows, that doesn't just go to the developer, that's allowing Linda to take some money out of her TIF and put it back into her TIF instead of matching. So that was a huge deal for us, and it just showed us that Central Indiana really does want us as part of them, and, because we are the most rural county, but we are in their metropolitan statistical area of the MSA. So those are the 2 ready things, and then, of course, we were long and hard this year on the redevelopment commission. We've done a great job. All the paperwork's been filed. The only thing about redevelopment is we formed the TIF district, which was the Central Putnam TIF district. We have designated taxpayers, and we've got the parcels, and all of that's been given to the DLGF. It's all been recorded in the recorder's office. I just sent my redevelopment commission an email this morning. Because of what's going on with your lawsuit and the potential for the new quarry, Heyman Holdings is already a designated taxpayer, but we did not include that parcel in our parcel list to capture the new growth. We're adding that parcel list. So we don't have to modify because they've already been identified in our plan. We're just adding that to our parcel list. So any new growth on that, we will capture. And then I said, Andy and I met about this, and we talked that we're gonna really kind of look at the northern part of the county at the first of next year to say, what does that look like, and can we capture some things up in the Bainbridge area or somewhere around there? So redevelopment hasn't met for a while because we passed the TIF, and then we haven't collected any funds. So once capital investment is made and tax funds are collected, then we will come up with a plan as the redevelopment commission and start identifying with the county's help on some of those areas that need to be addressed that serves the district. So just wanted to give you guys a quick update on that. There's a lot of other things going on in what we've done, but those are really the things very focused and dedicated to the county. Bainbridge is also forming a redevelopment commission. We meet Thursday night for the final for their TIF district approval, and that is going to be where the new Exhibit A Plastics LLC is going in right up there on, it's on Washington Street, heading north of town by the North Pitt School Corporation headquarters. So we are tipping that as well, and that'll be done by year end so we can get that recorded. And so we've got 2 new redevelopment commissions established in 1 year, which is huge. That's unheard of. And then we've got 2 new TIF districts established as well. So with our office and basically me doing a lot of the paperwork behind the scenes, and then of course all the members helping out. So a lot of information, but any questions for us?
Just let everybody know that Ready 1 and 2, we decided that, and this is back, 21?
Yeah.
That
ARPA dollars formed Ready.
ARPA dollars
And then
formed
Ready
Ready
2
1,
legislature formed.
but the county took 90% of the proceeds from Ready 1. In turn, we would give the city most of the proceeds for Ready 2, is how that worked. That's why it,
And we were getting Ready 2 money without it, but the CERTA was formed, and so we joined the CERTA as a city.
Yeah.
The county did not join the CERTA, but we as a city did join the CERTA. And so any communities can join, and so like Cloverdale could join, I'm gonna have a conversation with them about joining, I mean, Bainbridge, Rochelle, whatever, could join. But the county is still part of the Thrive district. Now, Thrive is a development district, CERTA is a regional development authority. They're different, but so sometimes we're covered by Terre Haute in the Thrive area, and sometimes we're covered by CERTA in the central Indiana area. So we got a lot, but we never did join the Terre Haute Regional Development Authority. We did not do that.
No.
We're covered by Thrive with the development district, but not by the regional development authority. So we're trying to get the best of both worlds, going both ways, and being in the middle of everything, we're trying to make it work. So lots going on, but any questions for me? Okay, great.
thank you. All right.
I got one more thing.
What you got, Andy?
Bring up that we're not gonna get any community crossings money. Oops, I just brought
Oh.
that up.
Yes, so to dive too far into the weeds, legislators moved $200 million out of community crossings to next year for some reason. That left a not a lot of money and a whole lot of requests. So our community crossings for next year, we applied for $1 million, we were denied. After going to the commissioners conference, there are lots, Greencastle, they got denied. Owen County was denied, Hendricks denied, Montgomery denied, lots of counties in the state. We are going to switch over to, because of the changes in the transportation bill last year, to lane miles. So it's gonna be another convoluted thing, but from what, and I've got an email from LTAP that I sent last week, and I haven't even looked at it yet, to get our estimated lane miles. I think in '27, when we get lane miles, we're gonna get about 1.2 or 1.3 million in lane mile money. So the way that's gonna work in '27 is, community crossings is $1 million. If you get 1.2 million in lane miles, you cannot apply for community crossings. If you get $800,000 in lane mile money, you can apply for $200,000 of community crossing money. I believe I'm saying that correctly. But, so, we're gonna have to figure that out. Community crossings, now we can reapply again in July.
Yes.
So we will reapply again in July for community crossings, see how that works. But, thanks for bringing that up, Andy. One of the other things from, and I'm about done, we can get out of here, is from our, commissioner meeting a couple weeks ago. We're still trying to figure out Senate SEA 1 bill and all the craziness of that bill. Part of the lit tax that is all going away, that's coming back, is the 0.4% for fire and EMS that a county cannot apply for. They kind of screwed that up and only cities can apply for it. So they're gonna, I believe they're gonna fix that in this legislative session so that we'll be okay for next year. Because that was a huge concern for us and a lot of other counties and towns. The other one is, everybody's heard the talk that the state wants to do away with township trustees. That talk is gonna continue to go and go. I am 100% against that, because that means all the commissioners are gonna have to do it. But what I am for is combining township trustees. So we set through a couple classes on that, so I'm one of the projects for '26, is I would like to get all the township trustees in a room and just have discussions of maybe trying to combine townships. The other thing is, we're gonna have to work on fire districts, fire territories, and volunteer fire departments. I won't get into pros and cons of combining, but as far as doing away with them all and the commissioners taking care of all that stuff, I do not agree with that, but I just wanted to throw that out there. That's one of the main topics of our conference that is coming this way, and it's not going away anytime soon. So, anybody else have anything to add? With that said, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. I'll second. Thank you all. Stay warm until Thursday, where we might have thunderstorms.
Floods.
And floods?
Floods. And then freezing it.
So, Bub, I'm not signing that stuff. I don't care. Robin, are we meeting? Huh? Here, do we need anybody else? Is it just one?
One's for,
No, I meant just one signature?
Trying to figure out how to do Bainbridge tonight.
This yours? Blue, huh? You got this? Huh? Hey, let me shut this off.